Hi guys, this video will be a glitter polygel review and a bunch of more items I got from Yayoge. They sent me this package. Now it came in two separate boxes. One of the boxes has a few of the items and the other one has the rest. One came first and then I did get the other one. That's why it took me some time. So these tubes are 30 mls and they are glitter polygels. They also came with the liquid as well as a dual tip brush. I really do like these brushes. I have about 3 or 4 of these. I like them to clean up whenever I do polish as well as to use for polygel. And then I did get the base and top coat. They're both gel. And I also got the dual forms. I don't rarely ever use dual forms, but I did use them on this video on myself. I also got these really pretty flower art decals, and I'm going to be using for sure the last packet that you see here and some fall future nails, and I will try to use the other ones. These are very spongy and very 3D stickers, which are really nice. They're like sticker decals. You don't need water, but they'll stick on the nail, but they're just super pretty. These are Cuticle Pens. These I highly recommend. I normally buy empty ones from AliExpress and just add my own cuticle oil. These are for personal use. I have given some to clients whenever their cuticles need help, for sure. But these are so pretty. I got so many different ones. Blueberry, lavender. I think it was, I don't remember the other scents, but I'll list everything down below. These are white and tender pink polygels. These are super pretty. These are half the amount, so 15 mls. I also got the liquid, a separate top coat and a separate base coat, and I also got a brush from them as well as dual forms, and I will just be showing you everything I got as well as their files. I really do like their files, and I use them on myself all the time. These are dual forms. I have like 7 or 8 of these packets from different companies that I rarely use. I don't use dual forms, and this is the brush that they send. I love this one for cleaning up. That is what I use it for most of the time, to clean up the nails. And I'll be using my favorite stiletto clear nail tips to show you the swatches. And this is the number 1 in the kit that I got, which has 8 different glitter polygels. This one's like a white base, very light white base with a little bit of iridescent glitter as well as some very, very fine purple holographic in there that you only get to see when the light hits it a certain way. Now this one, out of all the other glitter polygels, was the hardest to work with. It was very hard. It needed a ton of liquid to move it around, and I'm thinking it's because it is a white base one. Usually white is a lot harder to work with when it comes to polygel or acrylic. But it is a really pretty color. I can see people wearing this for their wedding or just for very nice, elegant, special occasions. But it's probably not the best thing to swatch them on these kind of sticks because you do waste a lot of product. But I'm only going to use this on myself, so I didn't mind doing that. And like I said, you only get the purples depending on the light. And this one's the number 2 glitter. This one is a silver base glitter, but it does have very extremely fine holographic glitter in there. When the light hits it right, you will get that hollow effect on the nail, which is really nice. And I just showed you the little tube because when you squeeze it out, 30 mls, it's not really a ton of product, especially if you're going to be using it on clients left and right. You want to make sure you have backups. You don't want to end up doing half of their nails. But if this is for personal use, this is more than enough to do a few sets. And this is such a pretty silver. It's not too crazy out there. This is the number 3 color. This one is like a rose gold. It's so pretty, you guys. This one I think is my second favorite, and this one is really pretty. Now, one thing I will tell you about the glitter polygels is when you put pressure on the polygel itself and you press down on it, the glitter tends to spread away from it, and it gives you kind of that see-through transparent look in some spots. And then closer to the cuticle, where I rarely do any pressing because most of the product is there, is where you see most of the glitter. So I would say, look, that's just so pretty. It has like silver reflex in there as well. I would say if they can just add a little bit more glitter. You can never have enough glitter, so you can have a full covered nail. And this one is a red. It looks deep right now, but once I even it out, you'll see that it's more of a true red. And here's where you'll notice that the glitter starts to kind of fade away, and then it's more of the clear transparent. And also, whenever I have my hand underneath these swatch sticks, it looks more pigmented, but once I remove my hand and I just let the light hit it right through, that's when you actually get the true glitter color and how it actually looks. And this one's number 5. This one is a gold, more of a champagne gold. It is so elegant looking, so pretty. This one shines really nice in the light. The holographic silver one shines really nice as well, but this one just has a little bit more bling to it. It has a little bit more shimmer to it, as you know. I can't explain it. This one is definitely, I just think of champagne when I see this color. But this one's really pretty, and I do like it because when the light doesn't hit it, it just looks like a nude, like an off brown beige nude. It's really pretty. And then when the light does hit it, that's when you see the sparkles in it, and it's really nice. I do like it. I didn't have trouble with this one pressing down as much, but the white one is so far the one that I had the hardest time pressing and moving exactly to where I wanted it to be. Now I'm going to be doing number 6. This one is a purple. I know it looks like a blue, but it's not. It is a purple glitter. This one's really nice. I did wish this one and the next color has some sort of either holographic or another type of glitter to pop out. This one has purple glitters in it, and it is a really nice, more subtle glitter. So if you want the color to be more of a pop but not the glitter, this is definitely for you. Now the next one I'm going to show you is number 7. This one is a blue glitter. This one is also so nice. It's more into the navy tones of blue. And as you can see, I get more creative with the way I apply the polygel on the nail tips. And I am just using the liquid that they gave me. You can also use alcohol, that works just as good. And I'm just spraying it out to see how this color works. This one does have a little bit more of a shine than the previous color. And now I'm going to go into the color 8. This one is by far my favorite. It is such a beautiful, light, airy pink with iridescent glitters. It just reminds me of like spring and, I don't know, spring and like, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it is just so pretty. Like it reminds me of butterflies and spring and flowers and the garden. It just, when the light hits this specific color, it just looks so nice. Sort of like a pink Jolly Rancher. I don't know if that makes any sense. It just looks really good too. It looks yummy. And even when the light doesn't hit it, it's super pretty. I would say this is my favorite color. I would definitely want this all over my nails. Just the reflex on that rose gold, but it's still a light pink base. I'm just showing you all the colors next to each other. You see how that gold and the light pink and the rose gold are the ones that pop the most. Those are my favorite. Now I'm going to show you guys the white polygel. These come in half of the amount as the other tubes. These are 15 mLs. This is the softest white polygel that I've ever used. This is great if you're sculpting because you'll get it exactly where you want and you'll be able to move it and do all that. But if you use this white with a dual form, it will leak out from sidewall to sidewall. So you'll probably get more of a mess. But it's super nice for a nice, very thin overlay on the nail. And this is a tender pink, such a pretty natural, simple pink color. It is also very, very soft. I've worked with solid polygel before, solid colors, but these are extremely soft, almost feel just like gel. Very close to feeling just like builder gel. So if you like that kind of texture, you would really like these specific ones. I'm not sure if they sell them in a bigger size, but these are so pretty. Now I'm going to show you, this is the cuticle pusher I use to push back my cuticles. I get this from Sally's Beauty Supply. And you just got to be careful with this one or any sharp, straight cuticle pusher because the corners of them are really sharp. This one's a little bit older, it's not as sharp, but you want to be careful because you can't cut your client or yourself. And I just gently push back my cuticles to make sure that I'm ready to use them to clean. Now I'm using my favorite Cuticle Bit. This is the bit that I use when I do a full set on anyone else or myself. The reason why it has to be a full set, it is because it is long. So you want to make sure that you can hold this flat against your nail and you don't have any outgrowth of previous nails on there to make it have a little lean, you don't want to do that because you'll be digging into your nail. You want it to be as flat as possible. So this is great when you're doing a full fresh set. And I really do like this Cuticle Bit. I get this from Erica ETA. I'll put it down below. She has amazing bits. They're such great quality and super fine bits that they do not damage the nail if used properly. So I really do like this. It just pushes back my cuticle as well as it cleans everything that's on my nail plate. And I also use it for the rest of my nail to make sure that I clean off. There's no natural oils coming out or anything in my nails to avoid any adhesion of the product I'm going to use. One more thing is, I'm not sure if you can tell, but you always want to lift the cuticle bit off your nail every time you're doing a stroke, because if you don't, you will provide heat to the nail and you can honestly damage your nails. So you want to make sure every time you're using this bit, you're lifting it completely off the nail every single time you're swiping it, either from left to right or from one side to the other. You always want to make sure. Now I just cleaned my nails and I'm going to go in with my Dollar Tree Cuticle Nipper, and I'm just nipping off any hangnails, anything that's waving at me. I'm just clipping it right off. These are one of my favorite cuticle nippers. They are only $1 from the Dollar Tree. Highly recommend them. And I'm just going to get my Yayoge file, the one that came in the kit, and I'm just going to file down my nails as low as I can. Also bring in the sidewalls to make sure that I don't get my nails out of shape. I mean, you can always do it afterwards. I just always like to do it beforehand. Now, one thing you will notice about my nails is that I don't completely file them down. I leave a good part of my nails still on my nails, and that is simply because my skin grows with my nails. Right behind my nails, you will see, and I will show you, my skin grows with my nails. So if I clip that down or file it down, I will be cutting into my actual flesh, and that hurts, you guys. I've had that happen, and it hurts. I've had clients in school when I was a teacher who actually were bleeding from their feet because they had that condition in their feet and they were bleeding. So just something to be aware about. Now I'm using my favorite nail tips. These are from Glitter Planet in UK. These are awesome nail tips. They're pre-pinch clear nail tips. I also have them in natural as well. And I just measure them from sidewall to sidewall, and if they're a little too big, which usually the small one always is a little too big for my pinky, I just file off the edge, the sides of the nail tip, remeasure, make sure it fits good, and I go in with my glue. Now I'm going to be using my glue that came in a dip kit set, and I apply the glue first. Then I go get my activator and I put a drop of the activator right after the glue, and I go right into applying it to my hand, and I let it sit there for a few seconds and it will dry up and stick right onto my nail tips. So I love that I can use my regular nail tip glue to glue on nail tips, to glue on crystals, to do a dip set, as well as I can use my dip bases, which are just glue, to do the same exact things for everything that I use in nails. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just measuring and making sure it fits from sidewall to sidewall. I make sure I turn around my hands to make sure that I have them straight in every angle possible, because I think about when I take pictures. And this is how the outcome is after I do that. Now I'm going to go in to measure the dual forms to make sure that I got the exact size that I need. And how I measure them is I press down a little bit just right to where I want it to be, and make sure that the sidewall fits the other sidewall. And now I'm going to use their base. I do really like this base. I use it for no chip as well as applying builder gel and polygel. And I'm going to go in very thin layers, and then I'm going to go into the lamp and cure this for 30 seconds. I also did file off the shine of the nail tips. That's something that I prefer to do. You don't have to do it, but I feel like it helps adhere the product to the nails. And that is exactly what I do. Now I do get asked a lot, why do I use nail tips when I use polygel with dual forms? The whole point of dual forms is to not use nail tips. Yes, I get it. But for me personally, Like I said before, my skin grows with my nails. So if I just do the dual forms without tips underneath, some of that polygel gets gunked up behind my nails and on my skin, and that burns so bad when I cure it in the lamp, as well as I have to get in there to try to clean it up because I don't want gaps or bumps or any imperfections underneath my nail. So it hurts to get in there with the little, even the most gentle file or bit, it will still cut and make me bleed. So I just rather not deal with any of that. And using tips just saves me a whole bunch of time. All I have to worry about is filing the sidewalls and the free edge. And I do clean up by the cuticle area because I want it to be as flush as possible. But that's just me personally. You don't have to file on top of the nail because the dual form does a perfect, amazing job to clean up the front, but I still just, it's a natural instinct to go in there and file. And I fully cover the whole dual form because I wanted very long nails. And as you can see, I press down by the cuticle area first. That is my main concern, making sure the cuticle area is really nice and flush. And then I gently press down on the rest of the nail. They will look really crazy. They will look funny, and that is fine. One thing I did notice about this specific polygel type is that it stays in place. It makes the dual tip stay in place, which is awesome for someone that's doing their own nails. Usually you have to be holding it down at all times and making sure you're cleaning it off as well as going into the lamp while holding it. Here I realized that since there's glitter in there, it makes it a little bit thicker, so the dual form stays intact, and it's super awesome. It allows me to be able to clean the sides, bring it in. Any leftovers, I go ahead and fix it. Now I was off frame for the rest of these two nails, so I apologize, but I will show you here how I pop off the second nail. Mind you, they do look a hot mess at first. The sidewalls are very wide, no shape whatsoever. Totally get it. Nothing that filing cannot fix. So I go on to the third nail, which is my favorite color of all of these, which is the number 8. And I just spread it out. Now, mind you, I do always put a little too much polygel when it comes to me building them on myself. That is just because I'd rather have extra and remove it than have to go back in there and add more, especially after curing. What's the whole point of the dual forms if you have to go back and try to sculpt it and even it out? So I rather it leak out from sides to sides, and I just clean it with the brush before I put it in the lamp. There's no biggie when it comes to doing that. And like I said before, I just press down by the cuticle. You'll see it kind of come out everywhere. My main focus is to keep the cuticle really nice and thin and clean, and then use any leftover that's on the sides and bring it around to make sure there's enough product all the way around, so there's no need for me to go back in there and have to add more product. All I have to do is just file the sidewalls and the free edge. So that is what you'll see me do on the rest of these nails. So something that I did notice is with this specific glitter polygel, every time I press down by the cuticle area, that's where I got most of the clear polygel and the glitter ran away. So in most of these nails, it looks a little bit farther than it really is, simply because there's more clear polygel in the cuticle area. and then the glitter moved down. As you'll see, the more I press down, the more it moves. I mean, it makes sense, but if it had a lot more glitter in the Polygel, we wouldn't have that detail in there. So I feel like after a while when they grow out, you'll see a little bit of spacing between them. Not a big deal breaker, to be honest with you, but just something that I wanted you guys to be aware about. If that's something that annoys you, then that may be something you might think about, maybe adding a nice decoration or crystals or something in there. But I wouldn't necessarily add more product just to get the glitter, because then you'll get more bulk by the cuticle, and that's not the point on having dual forms. You want to have that nice arch in the center and really nice small cuticle area. So that is just something I wanted to point out. And these are harder to get out because, like I said, they're fully in there, so it was a little bit harder. Now I'm using my medium safety bit, and I will link this one down below. It's one of my favorites to clean by the cuticle area, and I get really close because I want it to be as flush as possible. I clean the sides because I wanted to save some time in filing. And at first I was thinking of doing a square, very like tapered square shape, and I saw them, and just because of how long they were, I felt like they still looked very bulky in my opinion, and that's not a look I like, because then they make your nails look like they're fat, like they're very, very thick, when they really were not thick. And they had a nice C curve to them, so I was like, you know what, I feel like that's a waste of the C curve. They just look very fat. I didn't like the look on my own fingers, so I just took my time. After filing with this bit, I went in with my hand file, and it took me some time. I had to take a little break because I had some things to do, as well as my hands were on fire, so I had to take some time off. And I just did a really nice coffin shape, a very, very thin coffin shape. Not so thin that they're stiletto, but a more tapered coffin, which is the look I like because they just make my hands look really nice. And when they're bulky like this, I just felt like they didn't look as nice on my hands, but that's just personal preference. So you can save yourself some time by not having to file so much into a coffin and just keep it as a square. As well as you can always pre-cut your nail tip, maybe like a round shape or a pointy, and then when you add a dual form, you could flip over the dual form before you put it in the lamp and clean off any excess that's around the tip. So that way when you cure it and you pop off the dual form, it's as close as to that shape that you want. I hope that makes sense what I am saying, but that's something you can do. It's a little bit extra step, but it will save you time instead of sitting there and filing into the shape that you want. So here I am using my file, and I love using these bigger files when it comes to really filing like the specific shape on acrylic, polygel, or gel. I feel like I can get more done instead of using the smaller ones. So that is what I do, and this is the outcome of me filing them into the shape that I want. I am just showing you the back. The back is perfectly clean. Sidewalls are done. The cuticle area looks really good. And I'm just going to top coat them, which is my favorite part. And if not all, most of the videos, it is my favorite part, just to see the outcome and see the shine pop through. And I will just be top coating all these nails. And this is how the nails look after being done. I added some cuticle oil and I went to wash my hands. And I will show you different lighting. This is without flash, and then I will show you with flash towards the end. I really hope you guys like this, and if you're interested in the kit, I will have my affiliated link down below where you can go ahead and go onto their website. And if you do not care about that and you just want to get the kit without using my affiliate code, I will leave the name of the company and website down below that you can click on. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is a really nice kit. I did really enjoy it. If there's anything else you would like to see, let me know down below. And this is just my honest opinion, as well as I will be doing future videos on the other items I got from them. Thank you guys so much for watching.